And clap to the master, guys. We are finally back again for another reaction on the one and only Mystelics reaction, guys. Big up all the Mystelics YouTube family, man, for tuning into this reaction. And of course, the newcomers out there, big up yourself as well for definitely tuning into this reaction video. If you've not done so, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification, guys. Click subscribe, click the bell, and then click all, and you'll pretty much be notified when I drop my videos right there. And then, guys, give this video a thumbs up. All the Mystelics YouTube family, click the thumbs up button, right there, guys. I would appreciate it. I don't know where that comment Anyways, guys, before I stay right there, check the links in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. We have Mass in the Cemetery bringing up some information for us. Apparently, there's some Jerry Springer like episode vibes taking place in the police headquarters. And not only that though, guys, but another police seems to be involved in what? I am not saying it. YouTube, mind me, please. Alright, YouTube. Anyways, guys, let's continue right down there. It is a well-known fact that the Dominica DPF is now a mere shadow of what it once was 20 plus years ago. And I remember Inspector Weeks was mentioning something like this, or reiterating something like this in a funeral, and he was saying how the respect of police was much higher back then because the police was a respectable institution. Now it's full of vagabonds and those people who are talking nonsense and siding with people because they're just getting their money, or they're staying quiet because they get their money to support their family. But the real reason why police are there is to uphold the law. And when things are happening and they're not upholding the law, then you have to question what is the integrity of the police office. Anyways, let's continue right there. The once esteemed institution is now hijacked by yes men and women of the ruling DLP party, men and women, primarily focused on protecting the interests of the ruling politicians and not that of law, which is wrong. But then who is policing the police that don't doing these things? That's the big question I want to ask. Who is policing them? Because if they are the ones who are supposed to be the gatekeepers of the law and they're not doing according to law, they're doing according to the political affiliations, then what is going on? Who is policing the police? That's a big question to ask right there. Guys, I actually had to do a different video, but I'm doing this one right there because this one was a requested one. I'm just to put this out there. The upper echelon of the DPF is controlled by misfits operating as political mercenaries for ministers of government. That's true. I remember individuals like Blackmore and there's other people there. Look the baby Sarah vibes happening. Look the baby Sarah vibes. Who can forget the MITC's baby Sarah reporting where the police subordinates were ordered to provide stakeout operations for Blackmore at the home of the baby Sarah's mother. I remember based on the story that I was understanding that apparently baby Sarah's mother moved on and she was seeing other people and Blackmore didn't like that, and you know, he decided to all kind of thing. No, we know baby Sarah disappear. We don't know about baby Sarah. We had a fight. We don't know because no police. You say I don't understand these things. Who's policing the police? It's supposed to be the people, no? And the people supposed to police the police. But if the people are not doing their jobs and say, hey, this guy is not doing well, everybody quiet. But then again, most people don't even know the law to even know what they cannot do. Interesting stuff. Anyways, guys, based off this thing right there, my pal rep sent me, according to this, when they are making Polish recruitments, or when their Polish recruitment process is being hinged, the pal reps are the ones sending individuals. And it's really interesting with this one right there, guys, because on the basis that the pal reps are sending individuals who they feel that are focused on being one-sided, then if they are one-sided and they are recruited into the police force, then you'll have more people being one-sided rather than the people who are focused on the law. So they know that these people are definitely DLP people or UWP people or whatever people. They are focused on one side, and based on the ruling team, which is DLP, they want to get their people involved into the police thing so that they will be protecting them. You see how it works? It's an interesting kind of dilemma that we have. No longer the people, the police officers are able to uphold the law. They want to be partisan. Right there, brothers and sisters, and that is not what the police force is. This is why I asked the question, who is policing the police? Is there some regional police force that can say, okay, what are you guys are not doing right, and this kind of thing? This is why I like Lennox, you know, is to bring this information out, put this kind of information out, and what are you guys doing? All these things happening there, police taking people life in, boy, I tell you, boy. Anyways, guys, moving along right there with the DPF leadership so flawed and contaminated and the recruitment process so lackadaisical, it is no wonder the DPF is plagued with scandal and incompetence. Now, apparently, this is where it's getting hot. MIT MITC is aware of 2 current scandals apparently happening at the DPF. What is DPF again? Dominica Police Force. I thought they were going to see CID or something. Plagued with scandal and incompetence. In what sounds like an episode straight from the Jerry Springer Show, 2 sisters, Officer Rab S1 and Officer Rab S2. Rab S. So apparently maybe there's Rab S, Officer Rab S. Are these Rab S people? This is what I'm getting. Rab S. Officer Rab S. Who are the Rab S officers? Interesting. Rab S1 and Officer Rab S2 were stationed at the police headquarters in Roseau, and one sister ended up, choking the other one over apparently a sergeant. So 2 sisters, Riga Rosie, my pocket full of more insidious. Anyways, according to our sources, both sisters shared a room at the headquarters at the time of the incident. However, they also unknowingly shared the same sergeant at the CID office right there. Let's just call him Sergeant EWUS. Eat where you skite, brothers and sisters. Eat where you skite in. So Officer Rabes 1, who worked at CID, allegedly walked into a room while the sister Officer Rabes 2 was engaging courteous. I hope I pronounce that properly. That sounds like French. Courteous. Okay. Courteous. Whatever that is, brothers and sisters. So from my understanding, that would have been intercourse, brothers and sisters, with apparently the Sergeant EWS right there. Trial by combat, I tell you. Trial by combat, eh? Trial by combat. That's something like some kind of Spartacus kind of thing, man. Who survival of the fittest between the 2 Rabes sisters. Officer Rabes 2 was then, choked, wounded, and hospitalized right there. Yes, we at the police headquarters, all this happened. I telling you, it would be pleasing to say that the incident is under investigation, but as far as we know, the incident was actually covered up. It's covered up. That's why I'm telling you, when police officers see other police officers doing wrong and they know that police officers are doing wrong, they don't say anything. They're just quiet because they're getting their money. Look, that situation where these things are covered up. They're not putting anybody on discipline apparently. Or maybe it's the sergeant. The sergeant is a pimpin. You see me? On the 2 Rabes sisters. Interesting stuff right there. So anyways, one of them ended up in the hospital. Anyways, when she was released, the one who ended up in the hospital was released from the hospital. She was immediately transferred to the police station in Portsmouth. Interesting. We expect these kind of stories on the Jerry Springer Show. Yes, guys, Dominica have a set of kind of stories themselves. That's not easy at all. Certainly not with the Dominica Police Force. But let's stick a pin in here because we will later find out that it is all because of the My Parep Sent Me kind of plague. And the misfit ranking police officers that a Jerry Springer-like episode was in play at the headquarters right there. MITC is also following another incident with the Dominica Police Force. Our information suggests that a police officer allegedly impregnated what? Oh! That is crazy right there. A little one right there. Remember Kanisha, guys? Kanisha who went missing? She was around the same age as this one right there. Little one, pregnant by a police officer. How do they recruit these guys? Well, then again, My Parep Sent Me kind of vibe is taking place right there. I need a job. I have dirty ways, but I need a job. So your parents say, okay, join the police force. You'll get all kind of benefits. You don't have to do much, and you just stick with one side if they, tell you, we understand that the officer was arrested. Okay. However, this is not the first rodeo with underage girls. But you mind me, YouTube, allegedly, mind me. Sources close to the DPF informed us that another similar matter involving the same officer was dismissed for want of prosecution, as the family of the underage victim was not interested in moving forward with the case. They probably got caught. They probably not caught now. They probably got paid. So you see what is going on in the Island of the Caribbean, Dominica, guys. It's interesting. When corruption meets incompetence and dysfunctionality, that's a hell of a thing, It is one thing to be incompetent. It's another thing to be corrupt. with the incompetence and then this dysfunctionality that's taking place. I literally tell you guys, I can't remember the police officer that Inspector Witt was speaking about at his funeral. He was literally saying that what is happening now is in my own words, foolishness. Back in the day, respect was respect, and respect was earned back in the day. No, because you think you're a police officer in this day and age, you are like a little boy hoping for somebody to give you bread to eat, and you cannot talk because they are the ones giving you bread to eat. And not just them, guys, across the board in Dominica, this is how it is. It's rather sad that the people themselves who claim to be free people cannot talk because they're afraid of being victimized or losing their job, because the very system that they are voting for are literally keeping them that way. So it's like a circle, a kind of a circling kind of vibe. If you want to talk, you get victimized, better or what's in the circle for you to be able to stay. If you talk, you might get victimized and they cut you off, and then there's the same circle that keeping you. So yourself outside, they quiet, but yeah, so you have to realize if that is the case, let me come back and shut my mouth and see things going on. The very Lennox himself, like I mentioned a bit earlier on, the very Lennox himself was the one bringing all the information. Now they bring him to court for no reason. No reason. And look the other one, what's his name again? The one in South Sudan, Thompson Fontaine, that one too. I mean, come on, when will people wake up? Anyways, guys, let me continue right there. When the corruption meets incompetence, with the widespread corruption and political meddling with the Dominica police force, it was of no surprise that this would take place, guys. And of course, to us, the police force, Rabes 1 and Rabes 2, and the alleged, this word right there, all share one thing in common. All three officers are products of the very my para-rep sent me method of police recruitment. They don't no longer look at your qualifications, so to speak, your character. I think when it comes down to this, you don't just take anybody. You have to look at the character of the individuals who then see it fit to uphold the laws as is. Of course, there's grace that can be given and so forth and so forth. Yes. But when it comes down to people, just my para sent me and my parents sent me to not do the law thing, to make a little money from the state and for me to obey whatever they tell me to do, even if it's against the law. This is why a number of things are happening, and the government officials are not the very same thing that we see there. Let me see if I can get the word for you guys. This word right there. Remember when Lennox mentioned this thing? I think it was in St. Joseph. He mentioned that ministers of government are involved in these kind of things, or using young people for favors in exchange for certain favors, using young people to give them certain favors. I've heard of stories of people talking about when they met with the Prime Minister and they want to do certain thing. I even know of a lady in Portsmouth. Well, she mentioned to me about trying to get help for certain things, and the Minister of Government was like, well, I like you, when we going on a date now. That's what he asked her. When we going on a date, she come for you to give her help because you are part of the community and whatnot, and you asking when we going on a date. That is what they call you for. So some of the women will definitely give into these things if they want a favor. But Magwesa, this has to stop, don't you think? It's not me that's saying these things, guys. I know actual evidence of these things. And not just me. I'm sure Lennox them know a number of them too. But then these matters are in court for how much years? Donkey years passing with these kind of things there. Nothing happening, but they bringing people to court coming for nonsensical reasons. All three officers are products of the same my parents sent me method of Polish recruitment. All three officers came from the Cottage constituency, so we already know based on these things who is in charge apparently from this. Not saying that he might have any involvement in this, but if it's he that's sending him, that's something else. Came from the Cottage constituency and was sent to the recruiting station by Austria. Yes, our sources have indicated that none of these officers met with the Polish recruitment requirements. None of them met with the Polish recruitment requirements. None of it. But they make it papa. Not even a O level, I say 0 level. Not even O level subject, allegedly. That's something else. The only qualifications is that all three are children of parents who support the DLP party in Reginald Austree's cottage constituency. Interesting. We also understand the Sergeant EWS It Where You Skite was playing Dopow 2 with Officer. Boy, only know easy. That is domino what you do on the two sides. Dopow 2. Okay. With the police, with officers Rabes 1 and Rabes 2, he rose to the ranks of sergeant, not by merit but by the very PM himself. Interesting. In a recent reporting by Calais John Baptiste on the dismissal performance of the DPF, I thought that Mr. John Baptiste went off the rails when he told Matthias Pelte, Matt, that the minister responsible for the DPF, Dominica Police Force, is not to be blamed for a severely dysfunctional police force. Who else to blame for it now? Who else to blame for it? If the people in charge of these things are not taking responsibility for what they have caused, you need to be fired forthwith. But then again, if they're keeping you in positions and you don't need to do your job only because they are keeping you in positions so that they do not get arrested by the very police officers, I'm talking about the ministers of government, are keeping these people there so that they do not, so that people do not retaliate, or they might put somebody here that who actually listens to the law and say, hey, this is not right, maybe I should bring this to the law. But no, that is not happening. So you have incompetence that creates this dysfunctionality, and then you have these kind of things taking place because my rep apparently sent me, not true, for me to get a little job and benefits. That is what it is, job and benefits. Police officers have told me this, and not just one. I can think of my head at least 4 or 5 of them who have told me they only there to get the benefits. And if they make enough money for them to leave, they will leave. But they're only there for the benefits. Anyways, guys, where was I? I am still waiting on Kalai. Kalai, you need to step up the game, eh? As a journalist, you mustn't be partitioning these things. You must say it as it is. But hey, he's still waiting for Kalai to tell them who is responsible for the disastrous leadership and lowest quality of police recruitment within the DPF, the Dominica Police Force. Right? But alas, even once outspoken independent journalists have become a victim of the political intimidation. Or, my big question there is, are they being bought? Are they being bought? That's a question that needs to be asked. Because I can think of one particular UWP candidate, apparently in Roseau, a light-skinned individual. They told me not to go for I was told to target him. Apparently, these individuals might be bought. These individuals might be bought and helping the very system to keep the very people down. That's interesting, ain't it? Very, very interesting, my friends. The once outspoken independent journalist has become a victim of the very political intimidation and the debating. What is that? Debilitating. Dilapidate. I'm thinking of dilapidating, but it's debilitating, apparently, dependence syndrome. To Kalai and others who think that the problem with the police force can be solved by pretending that the problem does not exist. There's a problem that exists. Even Mr. Weeks knows this. Inspector Weeks knows this. He stated this, I tell you, in the recent funeral that he did for a friend or whoever that person is. He stated this. I think the person was a police officer and the person passed away as well. He stated this very thing. But to Kala and the others out there, a problem well articulated and identified is a problem half solved. Because one thing to identify the problem, you see the problem. It's a hell of a thing if you don't know if there's a problem in. It's a hell of a thing if you don't know if there's a problem. But if you know there's a problem and it's well articulated and identified, that doesn't solve the problem. It is solving the well articulated and identified problem, or developing solutions to solve these things that then solves the problem. Because we know there's a problem. We can tell there's a problem, especially, look at the history. Not necessarily history. Look at the past of past 15 years. Look at the history of what has happened to the police force. And I'm a victim of it too. I know. I'm a victim of it too. It's rather interesting. Rather interesting how we going. But guys, when I speak, I'm telling you guys this thing, what is taking place. You guys you don't have to believe me. That's fine. I'm sharing my thoughts and my views on these kind of things. There's things going on that needs to be addressed. But apparently we are Jerry Springer vibes in Dominica now. Jerry Springer vibes, man. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Let me know your thoughts in this regard, guys. Hopefully I get to do the video I wanted to do. Hopefully I get to do that. It's talking about lies, the Prime Minister said. So hopefully I get to do that one as well. We'll see how that goes. And with all that today right there, guys, give this video a thumbs up if you understand it. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get all the videos as they tend to come from. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Boom, bam.